Everybody is looking for answers to the rise of populism. It appeals to ordinary people. They feel ignored by the elite. Populist leaders claim to speak for the common person. They promise to challenge the status quo. The term comes from the Latin word populus, meaning the people. It's not tied to any specific ideology. It can be found on both the left and the right. Recently, populist movements have surged worldwide. They tap into frustrations with inequality, cultural changes, and corruption. Populism has a long history. Its roots can be traced back to the late 19th century. In the United States, the People's Party emerged in the 1890s. They represented farmers and workers left behind by industrialization. In Europe, populist movements gained traction in the early 20th century. They often blamed elites for the problems faced by ordinary people. Leaders like Juan Perón and Getúlio Vargas rose to power in Latin America. The Great Depression fueled populist sentiments worldwide. World War II had a profound impact on populist movements. Populist leaders exploited fears and frustrations. They used scapegoating and nationalism. The rise of fascism in Germany and Italy was extreme. After the war, countries rebuilt their societies. Focus was on stable democracies and strong economies. This led to political stability in Western Europe and North America. The Cold War created new divisions. It pitted capitalist democracies against communist states. This global conflict shaped political discourse for decades. Section 4. The modern resurgence of populism. In recent decades, populism has made a comeback. Several factors have contributed to this resurgence. Economic inequality has grown in many countries. Globalization has led to job losses in some industries. These changes have left many people feeling left behind. Technology has also played a role. Social media allows populist messages to spread quickly. It can create echo chambers where people only hear views they already agree with. This can make political divisions seem even wider than they really are. Immigration and cultural changes have become hot-button issues. Some people feel that their way of life is under threat. Populist leaders often promise to protect traditional values and national identities. They may blame immigrants or minorities for social problems. Trust in traditional political parties and institutions has declined. Many people feel that politicians don't listen to their concerns. This creates an opening for populist leaders who promise to shake up the system. They present themselves as outsiders fighting against corrupt elites. Section 5. Why understanding populism matters today. Understanding populism is crucial in today's world. It helps us make sense of political trends. We can see why some leaders and movements gain support. This knowledge allows us to engage more critically with political messages. Populism can have both positive and negative effects. On one hand, it can give voice to marginalized groups. It can force political elites to address important issues. On the other hand, it can lead to polarization and the erosion of democratic norms. By studying populism, we can learn from history. We can see patterns and understand how past events relate to current situations. This perspective helps us avoid repeating mistakes of the past. It also helps us appreciate the complexities of political and social change. Ultimately, understanding populism empowers us as citizens. It helps us make informed decisions about our political future. We can better evaluate the promises and claims of political leaders. This knowledge is essential for maintaining healthy democracies in an increasingly complex world. To address and understand populism today, we must engage in open dialogue and education. Encouraging critical thinking and fostering community involvement are key steps. Together, we can build a more informed and resilient society. By promoting transparency, accountability, and inclusive policies, we can mitigate the negative impacts of populism. Let's work together to create a future where informed and engaged citizens shape a thriving democracy.